What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 10 of my no quick saves, no knockouts, no cuts, no butts, no coconuts, Thief Gold Iron Pacifist challenge run. It's been quite a while since my last upload, and funnily enough, I actually recorded this mission and got a successful take of it back in September of 2022, 9 months ago. And for a couple reasons, I didn't end up uploading it because there were some gameplay things that I wanted to demonstrate but didn't manage to. And also, there was some horrific audio in there. And I didn't want to have auditory jump scares left in or anything. So I didn't upload it, and I was sick of doing recordings of this mission, or sick of playing through this mission because I just rehearsed it so many times and then finally got a successful recording, and it took me 9 months to want to do it again. But here we are, and I won't delay any further. Let's just hop into it, shall we?
The Keepers stashed the Talisman of Water in a series of hidden caverns located deep below the city. According to their map, I'll find it in a shrine located in the lowest cavern. I don't expect to run into anything too threatening other than a few venomous spiders. However, the map does contain this note: "Stand not against us, lest you feel the sting of ignorance's barbs." Sounds like Keeper talk for "we've rigged the place." An informant of mine, Geary, made a home for himself in these caverns after he lost his job tending the ticket counter of a nearby opera house. He should know these caverns better than anyone, so I'll pay him a visit to see if he has any useful information for me.
So I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but Song of the Caverns is actually the third of 3 missions added to the Thief Gold expansion. The first of which is the Thieves Guild, which I skipped for this playthrough, you'll recall, because it's just it's very bland and convoluted and doesn't lend itself well to a playthrough with no quick saves. Or at least I wasn't able to make that magic happen, but I'm sure there are people that can do it. There's also the Mage Towers, which is a fairly good mission, but it is a bit linear, and the guard patrols are very challenging to sneak around if you don't know the mission like the back of your hand, like I did. I had to familiarize with myself with that mission quite a lot. It was probably the most preparation I did for any mission, and it's a lengthy one as well. And lastly, Song of the Caverns is the third one, and it's the best by far. Probably one of the best missions in the game, for reasons that I'll get into as we go. But it seems like this is going to be pretty straightforward. We got to find our guy in the caverns, and he's going to tell us where to find the Talisman of Water, and then once we do that, we just have to get out of there. Although this is a bit ominous. It says, "It may not be as easy as you think." And we only have a loot objective of 200, so although it's probably going to be hard to find down in the caverns, And also we have to not kill anybody, but who knows if there will even be any humans down there. All right, let's go to the shop and buy some things. I'm pretty stocked up from the Lost City. We made off pretty well there, so I kind of have more money than I need. I'm just gonna spend it haphazardly. Yeah, I don't even think I'm gonna need all that, but it'll do. Now, the first thing that you'll notice upon booting up the mission is this guard up there. If you make a run for this gate, it'll trigger a first alert, but he's not really a threat to anyone. I think he just sort of exists to immediately put you on your guard and get you in the right mindset for playing thief,
What's there?
You can steal a piece of cheese that's in there, but it's
Oh,
so not worth doing.
Guess it was nothing. Halt!
Alright. Yeah, like I said, that guy is no threat to anyone. He won't even leave that tower. So it's really okay that he heard us landing on that box. So we're going down into this pump room, it looks like, that has pumped all of the water out of these caverns, which is convenient, because I wasn't looking to do a ton of swimming today. Now these sort of underground sections in Thief have a pretty obvious problem, which is that there's not a lot of variety in textures. You know, I think this game had a pretty is a very focused experience, and it's easy to tell what aspects of the game they put a lot of their time into and which ones were sort of an afterthought. But you know, all it takes is one texture to really communicate that you're in a cave. But it does leave these sort of underground sections feeling a little bit one-note visually.
Guess I'm not getting any information from Geary after all.
Well, that's our guy, so we're pretty much immediately off the books. Let's see what his diary says. More spiders arrived today. That makes 12 this week. I have no time to puzzle over this strange migration. I must pack up my belongings and move elsewhere on the morrow. Geary. Man, that's sad. He was planning on getting up and going the very next day, and then the spiders got to him. Now, these spiders aren't much of a threat. In fact, you can get them to jump in the water, and they'll die immediately, but, you know, I'll let them do that themselves. I'm not going to try to provoke any NPCs to die if I can help it. Oh, well, one of the spiders fell in, but I had nothing to do with it. Now, yeah, this, like I said, you know, not a lot of variety in textures, but the Dark Engine actually is capable of doing some cool stuff with the geometry. So we have, you know, stalactites and stuff, and it's believable enough, I think. And the soundscape really is what sells it. And this here is kind of funny. There's a trigger to have these, just these perfectly cubic rocks fall from the ceiling. And while they look silly, I think their function is kind of important. It makes the cave feel kind of alive and like it could crumble around you at any second. And I think most people who play games aren't looking up at the ceiling very often, so it's more meant to be heard than seen, and when you hear it, it sort of startles you and makes, yeah, like I said, makes it feel like things are crumbling around you. So I'm going to get to some darkness. We saw a Crayman over there, and we're going to pop open our map. Here was the spider section, here was that little swim through the cavern, and now we are in this area with the dudes with lobster claws. And the Keepers drew up that map, which you think the Keepers would maybe draw something a little more detailed, but that's what we got. So we're going to be dodging these Craymen, if possible. Their vision and hearing aren't great, so I'm not too worried. I just gotta sneak behind this guy here. Hopefully he doesn't turn. Oh, that could be problematic. Oh, well. I'm a little rusty, you'll have to forgive me. Yeah, I think this is where we gotta go. Yeah, I've rehearsed the end of this mission quite a bit. But the beginning I'm a little rusty on. And I brought this little boulder with me for a reason, but I'll get into that. Here we have a skeleton. It looks like someone sort of laid to rest and then died and decayed, and he's got a keeper journal. I fear to go on. The rest of the expedition have gone on ahead, and I was to follow them directly. But when the last of them disappeared beneath the surface of the water, all my strength and courage disappeared with them. When they see that I do not follow, they will surely send someone back for me. I need only wait a moment more, or perhaps at most an hour. Dark thoughts haunt me. What is time in a place that sees no sun or moon? What good are tears in a place that is all water? I must rest now. Oh, to have a spot dry enough to recline upon comfortably. Yeah, I really like the writing in this mission. I think, because Thief Gold was sort of in development around the same time as Thief 2, and Thief Gold kind of just exists so that Looking Glass Studio had a little more money coming in between Thief 1 and 2, right? I mean, they were, or I guess System Shock 2 and Thief 2, because they were very close to bankruptcy. But this was sort of a midway point where the writers had really upped their game from Thief 1, I think, anyway. So now we're going to plop this in the water. Now the audio is pretty cool here, I think. You know, the soundscapes in this section are really effective. If you've got headphones on, you might be able to hear some faint noise. This is a little different from what I had in mind, but it'll work. Okay, I think we dodged that crayman pretty well. Yeah, we've got some noises coming from that way, but I think this is where we'll be finding the Talisman of Water. That was pretty fast. Although this guy who tried to get it has some arrows in his back, so we're going to go about this with a little bit more care than he did. Stand not against us, lest you feel the sting of ignorance's barbs. For some reason, it's really funny to me that this text is left-aligned. You know what I mean? It reads like it was typed in a word processor rather than carved in stone. But, I don't know. Those little things kind of... The ways in which this game was rushed kind of add to the identity of the game. You know what I mean? It's hard to separate a game from... separate a game's identity from the development process. And very few games are completely finished, right? They just need to come out, and then they come out, and then whatever state they're in is what you get on release day. Anyway, so we found a note coming out of this dead guy's on his body, which says, "To Captain Colliard, from Lady Valerius. I've received word of the shrine and treasure room you have found during your mission to eradicate our little spider problem. I look forward to receiving whatever bounty lies there, and will not tolerate any more excuses about mysterious traps or other dangers. Success, Lady V." Well, that went well. But since we took the care to crouch under these arrow traps, now we can claim our prize.
Empty. Now what?
Well, that changes things a bit. Yeah, we're really off the books, huh? First our guy was missing, now this crayman sees me. I'm totally not trying to kill him with arrow traps. That would not be in the spirit of this run at all, if I did that. But hey, I didn't lay a hand on him, alright? He did that to himself. A couple arrows for me. And if the game says that I dealt any damage to enemies, then I'm gonna split heads, because I disagree. I disagree. Quite a bit of noise coming from here. Let's see what that's all about.
that's good, isn't it? I know a way into the opera house must be as quiet as a wee little mouse. Yes, that's good, isn't it? A British tar is a soaring, soaring bird, soaring fish. I can't remember. Oh dear. I know a way into the opera house must be as quiet as a wee little mouse. A British tar is a soaring, soaring bird, soaring fish. I can't remember. Oh dear. I am telling a terrible story, but it doesn't diminish my glory, for they would have taken my daughters over the world. I can't remember the rest of the world. It's been so long now, but I had such glory, such fame.
I wanted to hear that song because I have some stuff to say about it.
I spy you, little fish. Oh no, it's a big fish, rather. Are you here to sing too? We'll reenact the memorable scene between Raoul and Valerius at the bridge. I'll begin. The city at night. Raoul, the handsome young opera house owner, sings to the Lady Valerius. I, Raoul, do accuse you of using treachery to obtain your wealth. Then Lady Valerius sings, I, Lady Valerius, have obtained the opera house, yes. Right from under your nose, you must kiss the ground underneath my toes. Now, I live here under the opera, but I go back, stealing food and such as I need. She can't kick me out, not Raoul. Then they come down, looking for spiders, but they found the treasure from the shrine instead. No, she has that too. I've seen her with it. It has powers. You could steal it from her, yes. That would make her sad. Let's see. What would she sing? I know. Lady Valerius, weeping in her chamber, sings, I, Lady Valerius, am so sad. Where has the treasure gone that once made me glad? You need a map. Raoul has a map. You need a key. You can get that too from me. Remember, left at the sewer. Though the right might look newer, that's the secret of the way in. Now go, go, go. Up the rope you go. Why do you move so slow? Let us reenact the memorable scene again between Raoul and Valerius at the bridge. I know a way into the opera house.
The curtains went down on this guy a long time ago. He's the best lead I have.
So Raoul obviously is a fan favorite character. I mean, he's a bit of a nutcase, but he actually gave us some valuable information about the opera house owner, as well as how to safely sneak in there. And also, he just stole the show with his vocal performance. And actually, Raoul is played by none other than Stephen Russell, the same voice actor as Garrett. Now, I'm going to try not to stand still and talk for too long, although we're about to enter the opera house where there are a lot of talkative NPCs, so I'm going to seize this moment to speak uninterrupted for a moment. I wanted to stay and listen to Raoul because one of the songs he sings is from Gilbert and Sullivan's operetta The Pirates of Penzance, which you may know from the iconic song I am the very model of a modern Major General. In fact, if you like watching playthroughs of 90s PC games, there's a chance that you've heard a parody of it in the Freeman's Mind series. But anyway, the Modern Major General has another song called I'm Telling a Terrible Story, and he sang a bit of that down in the cavern just there. And the reason that this is so significant to me is because I was in Pirates of Penzance in 9th grade, and it was probably the best stage experience I've ever had for a number of reasons that I'll get into. But I'm just really glad that there's a nod to some Gilbert and Sullivan in there. He also sings A British Tar is a Soaring Soul from the HMS Pinafore, which was sort of a predecessor to Pirates of Penzance. Anyway, so there's some dead spiders here, and Raoul said take a left at the sewer, though the right might look newer. This right path leads to the front of the Opera House, and this path here goes into the basement. But let's read this scroll first. Mr. Colliard, that was the dude with the arrows in his back. It is not enough to kill the spiders brazen enough to enter the basement. You must tell your men to descend into the sewers and below. They must kill every spider they see. They must search until no more spiders are found. It does not concern me if men are lost, or if they are afraid to venture past the sewers into the tunnels beyond. If your men cannot complete this simple task, I will find men more suitable to the work. And are you so sure that you can get other work without a recommendation from the opera? I think not. Report to me on the morrow regarding your progress, Lady Valerius. So she's kind of wicked and doesn't really have much regard for anyone else but herself. I mean, she gave Raoul there, the former opera house owner, the boot, and now he's just been living in the cave, subsisting off of scraps and losing his mind.
This looks like the way in.
And I really like that approach to storytelling, if I can get through here, that before we even enter the opera house, we've got some dirt on the main villain of this mission, and we've got cause to really stick it to her and steal her talisman. You know what I mean? We don't feel like we're just robbing some poor soul. You know, she's got it coming. Oh, by the way, there's some unused backdrops here. I think that's a very nice touch. You know, that's the first hint that we're in the opera house, because a lot of these sort of basement dungeon areas look very similar in this game, so it's nice that as soon as you enter, there's a prop there to sort of let you know what sort of place this building is. Also, let's take a look at Raoul's map that he gave us. Right now we're in the basement, and there are these red X's. And if you look through here, you'll notice that some of these X's are in the same places, if that makes sense. So this X here to the left of the bath corresponds to an X on the second floor. And we'll see what that's about in a minute here. Just gonna wait for that patrol. Great.
What's that? Never mind.
Thankfully, these servant NPCs don't have very good vision or hearing. Gosh, get in there, please. Here we are. So right now we're at this X here, and there seems to be a hidden passage leading upward. So it seems that the X's on Raoul's map correspond to vertical passages throughout the opera house, which is very fun. So this is a secret study. We're stealing some of Raoul's stuff, but it doesn't seem like he has much use for valuables anyway. And there's an exit here to the second floor, although it's kind of ill-advised to go that way, because there's some noisy floors and lights everywhere, and fairly tight patrols. So we're actually going to be heading back down, but first I want to read Raoul's journal. I am beginning to suspect that I do not have revenge in my blood, for if I did, I would go now and steal from Lady Valerius all the contents of her office suite. She doesn't know about the secret passageway that leads there from the second-floor rotunda. She doesn't know about the key that works the lock. When she took over here and dismissed my whole staff, all knowledge of the secret passages and rooms left with us. I return here now and then to obtain provisions, always with the thought of exacting some revenge, but I fear I carry with me a terrible flaw. I do not have revenge in my blood. So, it's kind of cool knowing that on some level Raoul wants to stick it to Lady Valerius, but he's not cut out for it. So we're doing it for him. Oh, so let me tell you about my 9th grade production of Pirates of Penzance, now that I'm no longer at risk of fatal fall damage. So, in 9th grade, we did a production of Pirates of Penzance that the lead performer, who played Frederick in the show, made an agreement with some seniors that were on the soccer team in the fall that if he, the theater kid, did soccer for a semester, that all of these soccer hunks would be extras in the musical. And everyone held up their end of the deal, and as a result we had all these pirates in the show that had never been on stage before in their lives, and it was really cool to see these people like really fall in love with theater. You know, it's something they probably would have turned up their noses at.
Nothing to be seen now. Hello? Is someone there? Hello? Anyone there?
So yeah, it was cool to see like the social cliques at our school kind of erode. You know, and you just all of a sudden being a theater kid was cool. And because the pirates were so strong too, we were able to do some really cool choreography. I mean, I played Samuel, the first mate. And we had some very fun choreography where I was, we were doing some acrobatics, like the pirates were kind of like lifting me up, and I was doing, they would like link their arms, and I was walking, the pirates were bracing their arms together, and I was essentially walking across them, although at the time I probably weighed not much over 100 pounds. But yeah, it was a really fun show, and I met some really nice folks that I probably would not have met otherwise. And Gilbert and Sullivan, both HMS Pinafore and Pirates of Penzance, both depict a very sort of positive view of pirates, which was, I think, unconventional in fiction at the time. Pirates have always been sort of portrayed as, you know, sort of savage.
Hey, you!
Sorry, dude. Time to go.
Who's that?
But yeah, the pirates in Gilbert and Sullivan's work, we're all just sort of lumbering oafs, and they were very soft, if that makes sense.
Huh? Never mind.
Sorry, I'm a little stressed out after having gotten caught. Yeah, like the pirates in Pirates of Penzance, you know, they wouldn't hurt a fly and they love orphans and all that.
What's that in the shadow there?
And the comedy in that show actually holds up quite well.
I guess it was
At least
nothing.
for, you know, a show written in 1879, I think. Is this full dark? Yeah. Like, one of the major plot points in the show is that Frederick, the main character, is an indentured servant to this band of pirates until his 21st birthday. And when he's finally released, he falls in love. He falls in love with this woman named Mabel, and it's later revealed that since Frederick's birthday is February 29th, he actually only ages technically once per leap year. So he needs to remain an indentured servant until he is 84 years of age. And Mabel promises to remain true to him, to remain faithful until then.
Latest? That gibberish is a waste of my art.
Ironic, since I always considered your art to be a waste.
And, to add injury to insult, I'm forced to wear costumes from years past.
I can't believe the Opera House is still losing money. It's all these lower class people working in the ticket office and such. They steal whatever they can get their hands on. Valerius should fire all of them.
For once, I agree with you, Christine. Scrapping the lower class would certainly clean things up around here. But what will you do for food and shelter when they kick you out?
Taffer.
Can you tell that the developers of this game were not too keen on rich people? No, I adore the writing. It's really something special. Another fun thing about Gilbert and Sullivan is, though they were so endeared to pirates, pirates actually ended up being, I don't want to say their downfall, because they, you know, achieved plenty of success, but pirates were a problem for them in a sense. Because a lot of their work... So HMS Pinafore came out in England, right? And the production, began there. And American producers very quickly plagiarized the show and started running productions that took a lot of artistic liberties in the States. Because copyright law in the US at the time had no protections for... Do I even need to go this way? I don't. Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, copyright law had no protections for works that were created overseas. So, as a result, having learned their lesson, Gilbert and Sullivan oversaw the production of Pirates of Penzance in the United States first, so that no one could steal it, before it debuted in England.
Thought I saw something. These old buildings make too much noise.
How much gold do I have? 725, not bad. I need 2,000 gold now because I'm in an opera house. Anyway. So, even though they took all those precautions, copyright law was such a mess back then that there were still a lot of, I guess, pirate productions of Pirates of Penzance, even though Gilbert and Sullivan went to all that work to prevent their work from being plagiarized. So, I don't know. I find it very funny that, pirates sort of posed a big problem for them, even though their work even though they were so enamored with pirates. Let's read the scroll here. Carmela, a stellar performance as usual. I write in hopes that you will consent to a stroll this evening on the second floor promenade. I promise I will not arrive empty-handed. Please do not refuse me. I will wait all night if need be. A short stroll and some pleasant conversation is all I ask, and in return I have for you a most special gift, one fit for a queen. Awaiting you on the promenade, I remain, your most ardent admirer, Lord B. Oh, Lord Bafford. And you know we're gonna steal that gift, right? Because, for some reason, Lord Bafford being the very first villain to appear in the Thief series, a lot of this mission and many fan missions to follow involve Garrett sticking it to Lord Bafford or making, just make nods to Lord Bafford and take the piss out of him.
Just as you're cleared. If there's any trouble, we double the guard on Lady Valerius's rooms.
Not the ticket office. 'Cause if I were a thief, that's where I'd go.
But seeing as you're a guard and not a thief, you're clear on where to go if there's trouble?
If there's trouble, someone needs to guard the cloak check girl. She's all alone with no one to talk to.
When you're a captain, you can choose to guard whatever you like. Until then, let's hear it. Where do you go if there's trouble?
Yeah, to guard that watery stone nobody cares about, except Lady Valerius.
Good. When you're done moping, I suggest you get on with your patrol.
Thought I saw something. Hello? Anyone there?
I'm sure some of you other recovering theater kids, can relate to this one. Man, it's a packed house tonight. And look, there's my mom. This backdrop texture reads placeholder texture that they forgot to change. But, I don't know. It doesn't break my immersion that bad. There's a little harp. That's actually a prop that appears in Thief 2 as well. Actually, do I have a key that works on this door? Yeah, I do. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I think these other ones are useless. Whoa. So we're going into this ticket office here. Oh, it's just wide open for me. Nice. I'm gonna do this little crab walk here. I don't think that guy turns around, thankfully. And we're just gonna loot all of the ticket office revenue there. Is there anything in this one as well? Nope.
What I see there,
You saw nothing, my friend.
just the wind, I guess.
My dude really saw the wind. Drop that so I can plop down here safely. Yeah, we're really inching along here. Don't want to take any risks, because this floor is noisy. I think there's 2 of them. Nice. Alright, we're kind of in serious time now. So apologies for the lackluster commentary. We're in Andy has invested a considerable amount of time and doesn't want to screw it up mode. Okay, 2 moss arrows and more water arrows than we need.
Who is there? Is someone there?
So this is Lord Bafford right here on that date with the performer in the 2nd floor promenade, and we're gonna steal his gift. That guy heard the torch go out and now he's on to me. That's great. You can just walk around that flame, but I actually want to make use of the darkness, so...
Sir? Was that you?
Now we're gonna steal everyone's opera viewing glasses. Now it's funny, I like to think that some of the other attendants of the opera are other
What was that?
are other lords that we've stolen from in this game.
This latest opera from Valerius and Cribs is a testament to the superiority of human intellect. Man overcomes nature. Ah, my absolute favorite theme.
I couldn't disagree with you more. This opera is more of a travesty than a testament. The only thing overcome were my poor ears by that horrendous music Cribs has written.
You just miffed because Cribs is fond of tragic endings.
That's not it at all. Since Valerius took over, we've had to endure this Mr. Cribs and his twisted... These halls must speak from the past.
Well, I say in with the new. That's what I say.
I like to think that, yeah, one of these individuals is Lord Ramirez or something. Oh, that was a bad idea, but we're doing it. I think that's all we need in here. Okay, 1500. Very carefully jumping onto the carpets because, yeah, the floors are very noisy here, and jumping on them sucks. I've had that happen. I actually, in the playthrough that I recorded in September, I just made one bad jump and landed on this floor, and it was, yeah, I had to work myself out of a jam. I think there's something over here. Yeah. Okay, we're getting close to the loot objective. And right now we are here. So, if we can find a secret entrance, it'll lead straight up to Lady Valerius's chamber. And there we are.
Ah, a hidden entrance.
But unfortunately, this is locked. However, Raoul, back in the cavern, gave us a key. And he's had that this whole time. You know, he's had a way to get into Lady Valerius's chamber. He just needed a soul brave enough to do it. And now, yeah, I'm glad that we could fulfill that role for him. There's a key here and a note from Cribbs, who is the music director here. My most enchanting Lady V, I will cherish the flute always. Its outward beauty is matched only by its glorious tone. I must endeavor to keep it safe. However, I will be somewhat indisposed at home until this confounded furuncle heals. I hope I do not impose too much upon you, but will you look after this key to my wall safe while I recover? The flute is there, of course. I hope to return to my duties as music director before the new moon. Your friend and colleague, Ian Cribbs. Well, that's nice. Yeah, we've got a tip on something else that's pretty valuable. There's a skull up here for, I guess, when they do Hamlet. There's a key that I need to get in there. Oh, it's right in there. Here we go. And we've got our lovely talisman of water. That's 3 down, 1 to go. I think we have all of them except the talisman of air. So all I need to do is get that flute and meet the loot objective, which I think we might just be able to do in one fell swoop. Actually, you know what? I think I'll need to go digging around in some more of those opera viewing boxes. But, yeah, we're almost out of the woods. Yeah, he's walking towards me.
I don't like this place at all.
I want to blackjack this guy so bad, but I just can't.
What's up? I'm starting to see things. I'd better get some rest.
I really like that NPC's voice actor because you can hear the Boston accent in some of his lines. Looking Glass Studios was based out of Boston, and it's pretty much entirely comprised of MIT grads. Or was, I should say. Is this where I'm going? Yeah, this is where I'm going. But actually, I'm going to go this way first. Because the flute is over here. 2 moss arrows, okay. I think I'm going to be just fine.
wait, who is this I spy? Who dares fell wood from my domain?
That's good, but let's try it a little more angry, like this. But wait, who is this I spy? Who dares fell wood from my domain?
But wait, who is this I spy? Who dares fell...
No, with gusto, and emphasize the word dares, like this. Who dares fell wood from my domain?
I've got a better idea. Why don't you sing the part of Canandra, Forest Princess, tomorrow night? And while you're at it, why don't you find yourself another leading lady?
This will make a nice little
Maybe
bonus.
I will.
Fine. Untalented Taffer troglodyte. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
I really like the fake out in that conversation. When you walk in there and she says, "Who is this I spy?" But she's just rehearsing for the opera tonight. And the tenor and her co-star is being obnoxious and trying to play director. So yeah, we just barely didn't meet the loot objective, but that's fine because there's some funny stuff going on in here. So now we're in Ian Cribbs' office, the music director, and we just heard an excerpt from the opera, but we can actually read the first act of it here. Reginald and Canandra, Forest Princess, or the tragical tale of forbidden devotion betwixt our hero Reginald, Hammerite novice, and the sprightly Canandra, forest denizen and ruler of all trees. Some title. But that's cool that it incorporates the two major factions of the Thief series. Libretto and music by Ian Cribbs. Act 1, The Forest Edge. Reginald has been sent to cut wood. He sings, "I am but a simple novice, sent here to bring wood from forest. Happy is this sunny day, if only it could stay this way." Canandra, singing from afar, "Ah, glorious sun, send your rays upon us." But wait, who is this I spy? Who dares fell wood from my domain? That was the part we heard her rehearsing. He will learn the folly of his ways. Canandra lands a blow upon Reginald's head. Reginald sings, "Ah, pound me not, foul forest thing." He raises his axe in a defensive stance. Reginald sees Canandra for the first time. He sings, "Did I say foul forest thing? For thou art beautiful as a butterfly's wing." Canandra, her eyes meeting Reginald's, sings, "Didst I land a blow upon your head? For I would rather take my own life instead." They embrace. They exit stage left. The forest creatures sing, "Na na na, la la la," etc. End Act 1.
Do people really pay money to see this stuff?
Okay, I have to pick this lock, I guess. Again, it really feels like the devs were not keen on wealthy people.
Is someone there? These old buildings make too much noise. Thought I saw something. Starting to see things. I'd better get some rest.
Nice. So all of our objectives are done. Let's get the hell out of here. And I kind of have a goofy exfiltration strategy, which was probably not intended, but you know what? You do what you have to do in a no quick saves run. This is greedy.
Quiet enough now. Oh well.
So we're coming back up on Lord Bafford and his date. And they're probably going to see us on our way out, but they're non-combatants, so I'm not too concerned with them.
Is someone there?
And there you have it. So let's see how we did, yeah? So we didn't take any damage, which is pretty cool. I think that makes this our 5th no damage mission. I did alert that one guard, but I'll take it. Got 2,095 loot out of 2,920 loot. 45 minutes and 22 seconds. That's pretty fast, actually. No backstabs, no knockouts, didn't kill anybody. And there was one body discovered by enemies, but that's really strange because I didn't... Who could that have been? The Cray Man or something? But who would have found the Cray Man? That's really strange. I don't know what that could be. Did the spider see the other spider? The spider that drowned itself, did the other spider see it? I don't know. I'm not sure how that was calculated, but you saw my gameplay. I didn't lay a finger on anybody. This campaign total is definitely off as well. I might have loaded an improper save at some point. But our total damage dealt is 0, and received is still 30. And that's going to be it for this episode. I apologize again for the delay on this one, but I mean, hopefully this was worth the wait. I know there are a few of you that enjoy this series, and I'm really grateful that this thing that I'm mostly doing for myself is enjoyable to you all. So I'll see you all next time with Undercover, which is going to be a doozy of a mission. So might need some time to rehearse that one and get it right. But until then, I hope you have a nice life. Take care now.